Okay, so let's come into mountain pose. Take a moment to observe your posture. And bring your spine into its elongated position. So while holding the tailbone down or weighting the tailbone from the low back, start to draw up. And draw up all the way through the crown of the head. And when you get up to the base of your skull, draw the base of your skull upwards, letting the chin drop a bit so that the back of the neck feels long. And also to break any habit that you may have of trying to make your spine long through lifting your chin up. The lift of the spine comes from the core muscles of the spine, not from the head or the shoulders. So we keep the shoulders relaxed, the head in neutral, and kind of hug all of the core muscles along the spine in towards the spine and then draw up. So it's not going to be dramatic, especially in the beginning. But even after you've been doing it for a while, it's never going to feel like a big, huge change, but there will be a sense of a lift of the energy of your body. And the front of the body and the back of the body both lift evenly. So the front of the spine lifts and the back of the spine lifts. And then widen across your collarbones. Slide your hands back on your thighs until they're close to your pelvis. And as you're lifting the spine, relax your elbows. And make the front ribs flush with the rest of the front of the body. You're looking for ease, not any kind of idea that the mind may have about what it means to be sitting tall and straight with good posture. Let go of your mental perception and try to feel it in your body. I promise you, the feeling of it is not as aggressive as the mind will try to be about it. And join the hands together at your heart. Keep the elbows back and in close to the ribs. Gently press the palms together. And take 3 ums. So exhaling. Oh. 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 Bow the head to the heart. Salute the teacher within. And release the hands back to the thighs, drawing the elbows back and in close. Find your mountain pose again. You may want to lift your shoulders and draw them back and down. Pull the ribs back. And then let's just drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Pull the chin back. And then the other side. So go back and forth, side to side, while sitting tall in mountain pose, strengthening the core muscles. Back to the center. Turn the head to the right, then to the left. And as you turn your head back and forth, right to left, maintain some awareness, some consciousness of mountain pose. Feeling all the little muscles around the neck as well as the large muscles of the back that are also being affected by the turn of the head. So see how low down in your back you can feel. And bring your head back to the center. Drop your chin down and then lift your chin up. This may be the most challenging one to keep the body in mountain pose while moving the head up and down. So just be aware of that and do the best you can. And then come back to mountain pose. Turn your head about halfway between all the way to the right and the middle. And lift your chin and drop your chin. And then come back to the center. Turn your head about halfway between fully to the left and center and lift the chin and drop the chin. Just notice how each one of these positions is a very different feeling to it. And then back to the center. And now make full circles. Notice any clenching, any resisting of sensations. And try to relax the resistance as best as you can without, endangering yourself. Because resistance many times is a protective, well, it's always a protective mechanism, but it's not always a needed protective mechanism. It's just a habit. Go the other way. And then come back to the center. Now let your arms just hang straight down beside you and then pull them back. And bring them up about shoulder height and then pull them back again. Go back as far as you can. And when I say go back as far as you can, I don't really mean back in space as much as I mean go back and up. So that you're getting as much internal rotation of your shoulder joints as you can. So just notice as you're doing this, how your shoulder blades and your shoulders may be pulling up as well as moving forward. And then just bring your arms by your side again and cross the right arm over the left and just catch it with your left arm. Relax both shoulders. Turn your head to the right and drop that chin a little bit. Keep your elbow relaxed, the right one in particular. Release that right arm and bring it back behind you. And even sit back. If you need your hand way out towards the right side of your waist, that's fine. And as you are able, you can slide your hand all the way to the opposite, to the left, as far as it'll go, so long as it's not causing pain. Now take your left arm and bring it up and over the right shoulder. Let the elbow just hang. Keep your chest up. And turn your head to the left. Lift the chin slightly. And then release back to the center. Take your left arm across. Relax that shoulder. Relax both shoulders, actually. Turn the head to the left and drop the chin. And then turn the head back, release. Take your left arm behind your waist, lean back on it. Always coming back to an awareness of your posture. Not just from the mental plane, but feeling it from the body plane. Take your right hand up onto the left shoulder. And turn your head to the right. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And release back to mountain pose. Now take your arms out to the side like I've got mine, where your elbows are about the height of your shoulders. And so you may have to lift them up higher than you think that you should. And I can tell from looking that's true for almost everybody here. And then stretch the arms straight and then bend the elbows. Stretch the arms straight. So when you stretch the elbows straight, the palms are facing back. And you can make this kind of like a marionette. You're just kind of swinging a little bit, but control your shoulders. The only thing that is swinging are your elbows. So Dolores, keep your elbows up. Don't drop your, it's not this. Just keep your elbows at the same height, then you're just moving your lower arms. And then relax. Find your mountain pose again. Now bring your arms back into that position. This time we're going to bring the arms up and down. And again, don't move at your shoulders. I mean, the shoulders, the arms will turn, but you're not lifting and lowering the shoulders. And you're just kind of swinging the forearms up and down. Now it's really tempting to tense right at your neck. So be aware of that and keep relaxing the flesh right there at the base of your neck. Okay, last one, release. Whew. Really gets those deltoid muscles. So swing your arms over, in front and out and change which arm is on top each time that you bring your arms forward. Okay, and come back to mountain pose. And then we're going to stand up and just separate your legs as wide as your pelvis. And you can let your feet turn out a little bit. And we're going to swing here. So we're going to kind of turn and reach up and down. And you can turn on your foot. And you're just going back and forth, up and down. Turning the waist. If you have balance concerns, put your eyes on one thing and keep your head in the same position as you swing your body. And that will help you not get so disoriented. And then come back, sit, take some cat-cow. And then come back to mountain pose. Try not to let your mountain pose become stiff or rigid. It should be organic, it should be relaxed. And then we'll stand up again, feet pelvic width apart. We're going to do that swing again. So again, remember to just find something to look at, keep your eyes on the whole time if you need to. Use your breath, inhaling as you go up to one side, exhaling as you go up to the other side. Trying to turn your spine, so getting some rotation in your spine. And then last one, coming back, sit, back to mountain pose. And then separate your legs wider than your chair seat and circle your hips. Go forward as far as you comfortably can and see how much of your back you can get involved in this movement. And then reverse direction. And then the next time you're over your right leg, stay there and just rest your right forearm on your thigh and then reach your left arm to the right. And then put your left arm on your left thigh, reach your right arm to the left. Come back to mountain pose. Try to feel your mountain pose. Now start to tap your feet. Keep your heels on the ground, but just tap your feet. Feel the muscles. Notice how quickly the muscles start to get tired and how high up you feel it. Keep tapping. And relax. And then slide forward, stretch your legs out. Now pull your toes down towards the floor. Sit tall in mountain pose. Think front of the spine lifts. Heavy, weighted sit bones, tailbone. Now begin to slide your hands towards your knees. Don't put your hands on your knees, put them right up on the fleshy part of the thigh above the knee. Straighten your elbows, keep the toes pointing down. Tuck your chin a little bit so that you're not, again, pulling from your head, but reaching forward through your chest. Relax your shoulders. And then sit, keep your legs like they are, but sit up and grab hold of the chair seat. Just put your hands under the chair seat. Lean back, pull your knees up or one knee up. Put the legs back down. Pull the knees up. Put them back down. You can do this with one leg at a time if you need to. Core strength. It's very hard to sit up in mountain pose if you have no connection to your core. So draw your navel back with your exhale. Pull the knees in, round your back to bring your trunk closer to your legs. One more. Come back to mountain pose. Notice the energy that's coming into your body. Okay, I'm going to turn my chair, but you can stay where you are. Now, sit right on the front edge of my chair. I'm going to take my arms up. Actually, I'm going to interlace my fingers and put them up on the back of the chair. Okay, so I know this is, can be challenging if you're not used to doing it. So if it's, just too challenging, you can get your blocks. Put your blocks in your chair seat. That will lower how high the back of the chair is. But the idea here is that the chair acts as a support for keeping the arms up. So find your position. You could also sit on your bolster if the blocks are too low, or add a blanket. I'm going to add a blanket to the back of my chair just because it's kind of bony. So just find your height. And because what I want to do here is work on mountain pose with the arms in this position. Okay, so lift your chest up. Now bring your chin down and pull your ribs back and your belly back. Kind of tuck your chin back. Try not to let it go forward and collapse in your chest. Think of the center of your chest as lifting up. Release. And just hug yourself now. You can stay up on your height because we're going to do it again. So just hug yourself, lift your elbows up. Now round forward. Good. Now go back to that same position. Find your mountain pose once you get your arms in position. It's actually even better if you can get into mountain pose, bring your arms up without losing your mountain pose. Push your arm bones down. Push your shoulder blades down. Lift your chest, push it forward, push the sternum forward and up. Navel back, Don't push your low back forward. Release. Hug yourself again. In fact, hug yourself and try to bring your elbows beyond one another. So I'm bringing my left elbow to the right of my right elbow. Okay. So get a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So rather than just here or here, I'm trying to get them beyond. Okay, so do the best you can. I mean, careful, Richard. Don't aggravate that right shoulder any further. Now bring the arms up. Forearms up. Back of the hands facing one another. Back of the hands. Turn your palms towards your face. Now turn your palms away. Turn them towards your face. Turn them away. Turn them towards your face. Release. Take your arms back behind you again. Lift them up and put them over the back of the chair. Lift your chest up. Just do your left arm, Richard. There you go. That's good. Get that chest up. Whew. Release. Hug again. And again. So now I'm got the other arm on top and it's much harder for me to get my elbows beyond each other. So this may be easier side for you. Now, bring the arms up, back of the hands towards one another. Now turn the palms towards you. Turn them away. Towards you. Turn them away. Careful of your neck. Keep your neck soft. Towards you. Turn them away. Go back around again. Arms up, chest up. Breathe. Chin down. Pull the chin back a little bit. Last one. Arms forward again. Cross and hug. Bring the arms up. Now bring them beyond one another. Woo, like so. Just do that several times. Just bring them beyond each other. Think of you're being a flag person on the road or on a boat getting the planes down. Okay, release. Go back up with the other arm on top. Same thing. Bring the arms up, go beyond. And arms out and open. Relax. Okay, good job. Take a twist. Now, if you can, just walk your feet forward a little bit and either cross your right ankle over your left or cross your right thigh over your left. Find mountain pose even here. So when we twist, we can really distort our spine and our ribs to make that twist. So make sure your front ribs aren't poking forward and that you're keeping that length. Turn your head back to the left. Look at that right foot. Relax your shoulders. Try not to get aggressive. Just be very mindful of using your muscles and making your effort, but without becoming aggressive about it. Now turn your head back and release. Uncross your legs if you've got them crossed, or your ankles. Come back to mountain pose. Now turn to the left. And then cross your legs however you're able to. Keep your shoulders relaxed, your front spine lifted, ribs back. Turn your head back to the right, look at your left foot. And release. And cross. Sit in mountain pose. Take some full deep breaths if your body feels like it wants that. Okay, so now you'll need both two chairs and your bolster. And just place your chairs side by side with the backs of your chair to the back of your mat. And put them right up against each other to start. Make sure everything's on your mat. And then with your bolster, put your bolster across both chairs, but with the end of it way up on the right side of the side of your first chair. And then when you've done that, just come to sit on your bolster. Slide back pretty far. And then put your hands one on top of the other on that left. I'm not sure, no, I guess it'd be your right one, the leg that's closest to the back of the chair. And then slide the other leg back. You're up on your toes on the back leg. Reach through the heel, and you're looking for a stretch right here on the front of your hip. So if you don't feel anything, you may need to walk your hands up your thigh. Let your hips, this outer hip, release forward and down. This should not hurt in your low back. So Ross, can you make yourself taller on your chair? Can you get it higher so that you can get that leg back? Can you put blocks under your bolster or stack another bolster on top? Something that allows you to get that back leg back. Now, turn yourself towards the back of your chair and grab hold of the sides of the back of the chair with your hands. Lift your chest. Try to keep that back leg, the left leg straight. And then turn back. Now, optional, take your arms up by your ears and reach back through your heel, the heel of the back leg. Lift your belly up, push down into the front foot. And then release the arms, bring that back leg forward. Sit right up onto the front edge of the bolster. And then stand up. And just push your bolster now all the way to the other end, or you can turn everything around, and that's up to you. And then again, just sit on the end of the bolster, sit back. You do want your feet to be able to touch the ground. This is almost too high for me. So we're all, we got those different proportions. So now slide the leg that's on the outside of the bolster back behind you, turning the toes under. And push back into the heel of the back leg to straighten the knee. I didn't say to put your hands on the front thigh, but that does help if you have any low back issues. So if you need to lean forward more, just keep it out of your low back, do that. If you don't need that, then you don't need that. Lift up from the front of your belly, all the way up through the front of your spine. Then turn towards the back of the chair. Don't let your front knee go out to the side. Keep it in line with your hip joint. Come back to the middle, and if you like, take your arms up, push down through your feet to get some access to your pelvic floor to lift up. And then bring the arms down, lean forward if you need to bring that back leg forward and come back to seated. And then go ahead and stand up. So I'm going to leave my setup just as it is, and I apologize ahead of time that you will be facing my butt. But I'm going to face the setup, and I'm just moving my bolster to the middle between the two chairs. And I'm going to separate my legs nice and wide, and then come forward with my forearms onto the bolster. Okay, so you can do that as well. Just widen your legs. Make sure the toes are still on the same plane. And lift the leg muscles up and press the thigh muscle back into the thigh bone. Push it back. And then elongate the front of your spine forward and relax your shoulders. You don't have to have your forearms on your bolster, obviously. You can stay up on your hands if you're rounding your back when you go all the way over. You don't want to round your back. You want to keep the ribs up, navel up, and keep the back long from where your legs start all the way through the crown of the head. recheck and make sure you're still engaged and lifting. You're not just hanging out here taking a nap. Keeping the leg muscles up, pressing those thigh muscles back into the bone, pushing the bone back into the hamstrings. And then make your way out and come to sit on your bolster right in the middle. Find your mountain pose. Okay, so sit way back towards the back of your bolster so that you've got good support behind your thighs. And then just grab hold of the ends of your bolster, spread your knees wide. You can see on me, I can't touch the ground when I'm doing this. So you may be able to, and you may not be able to. It's not important. So I want you to kind of pull up on the ends of your bolster with your hands. Keep that tailbone really weighted. You're just going to reach out with one leg and then the other leg. So reach out, reach out. So you'll feel those outer hip muscles working big time. Well, I feel them. Maybe you feel them. Stay lifted through your spine. Don't collapse. Now we're going to take both legs out and release them. Both legs, release. Again. Now this time you're going to take them out, hold them out, circle your ankles other way. Do y'all think I just stay up at night finding ways to torture you? Yes. Okay, release your legs. Now sit so that you can have your feet on the ground if you're not able to touch. Okay, so let's side bend and other side. And side bend. And then we'll hold it. Now we're going to turn to the right and put both hands on the end of that bolster. Just round your back. And then inhale, bring that left arm up. And take the right arm over. And then turn and bring your right hand to join the left. Inhale, bring the right arm back. Now slide down towards the right end of your bolster and take your right leg out to the right. And just put your hand on your thigh, close to your knee, but not on your knee. And side bend again. This time maybe a little further. You may be able to get your forearm on to your thigh. Turn your ribs to the left. Inhale, come back. Stretch that leg straight. Slide your hand down that leg as far as you can. And stretch your left arm straight up for triangle pose. So pull your shoulder blades back. Your head in line with the rest of your spine. Pull your navel back. Inhale, come up. And let's come to the center for a moment into mountain pose. And we'll walk all the way down to the other end and take your left leg out to the side. And either starting with your hand on your thigh, or if you can go all the way over, go all the way over with the forearm on the thigh and reach the right arm over your ear. Lean your shoulders back. Keep your head in line with the spine. Lengthen the front of your spine. Inhale, come up. Stretch that left leg straight. And slide your hand down towards the ankle. And then stretch your right arm up. And you can either turn your head up, or you can look down at your left foot, or you can look straight ahead. It just kind of depends on what feels best. Keep your navel back. This is a great opening for the hips. Inhale, come back. Come back to the center of your setup. Find your mountain pose. Now, if you like this height because you're tall and this gives you a better, this feels better to you, you can stay up on your bolster, but I don't. It's too high for me. And so if it's too high for you, come down into your chair, spread your legs, and take your hands down onto the floor. You could, if you're not using your bolster to sit on, you could use it here to put your hands on if you need to bring the floor closer to you. And then walk your hands over to your right foot and stretch your left arm. And then walk back to the center. Stay in the center for just a moment. And nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And just go back and forth between those two movements of your neck and head. But end on a yes. Really let the head hang so that the neck vertebrae are long. And then when you're through with that, walk over to your left and stretch your right arm forward to the left. Hold your hips back. And then come back to the center.
Hang even lower and reach your hands underneath your chair and grab the chair legs, either the front chair legs or the lower or the back chair legs, and pull the chair forward towards your head. And then release. Take your hands to your thighs, push down to come up into mountain pose. And then take your second chair in front of you between your legs and get your bolster. And let's take a supported child's pose just for a brief little respite. So just take your arms up on the back of the chair and rest your head on your bolster. And breathe. Try to give as much of your weight to your bolster as you can. And then go ahead and come back. I know that was a brief respite. Sit in mountain pose. Bring the hands together at the heart. Bow your head. Thank yourself for taking this time. May we have faith to know the divine enriches us, invigorates us, and present with us throughout our day. Thank you for allowing me to share this journey with you. Namaste. Okay, thank you for being here. I hope it wasn't too torturous. And I will see you next week, I hope. Take good care. Bye-bye.